Nikki Gunair. I live in the community. I started volunteering at Grace Pascoe last October, and I walked in one day with a bag of groceries that I had collected from my neighbors, and they were so warm and welcoming, and they told me what their process is, which is to sort the donations that come from the community and that come from the Daily Bread Food Bank and that come from Second Harvest, and that on Thursday nights, starting at 6 o'clock, clients from the neighborhood come and fulfill hopefully their needs for the following 7 days.
My name's Kelly Maloney. I'm kind of the supervisor of intake and the volunteers who are participating in intake on Wednesdays, and then on Thursdays I'm in charge of opening and closing and sort of in charge of any of the runners, boxers, support staff, aside from the people who man the tables. I got started because I was sort of trolling for something to focus my energy on, something to do in the community philanthropically. And I've had a few things, and I was talking to some friends about it, and then one day I got a phone call from my friend Shelley, and she said, my friend Adrian is starting up the food bank at the Baptist Calvary. Are you interested? And I said, 100%. So I came here the first day of the introductory stuff, and I never left. And quite honestly, I had not intended to be as involved as I became, but it kind of gets in your blood, and you want to participate more and contribute more as you get to know the process and the people, not just the volunteers, but the people that we're here to help. So that was my process.
I'm Debbie Visconti. I'm the executive director. I've been here since kind of the beginning, and I assisted the process of getting the space open. It was closed over COVID, so what had happened is we worked with the church, who have been so kind, and they've assisted us in getting the space open. We renovated it, and we were able to set things up and have a working shopping model for the clients.
My name's Jane Curran. We set up the space to look as close to a grocery store as possible so that our neighbors feel comfortable when they come in. They get to choose to some extent. I mean, everybody's only allowed to take so much, but they do get choice, and it makes a difference, I think, for people to have that feeling of some power.
You didn't see so many people in need before, or they weren't reaching out as they are now, but it just seems there are just so many people coming to us in need. You're seeing them line up down the street and around the corner that we never saw before.
The greater issue is one that is socioeconomic and mental health and health care and housing, and they're all components when taken as a whole put people in jeopardy. So it's not a black and white situation, and it's certainly not an easy answer.
How can the average person help with the food banks? Certainly to be an advocate and to be a voice for people who are using the food bank, and to talk about it, and to talk about the fact that there should be no stigma attached to going to a food bank. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, we're on the social media. We're Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. So, but you got to look for it to know it's there, right? So, it's not like we have a budget for anything. You know what I mean? Because nobody here is paid. We're 100% volunteer driven. So that's a sort of a tricky thing, if you don't have a budget to go to somebody and say, let's make posters, or that becomes tricky. The food that's in there, it seems plentiful, but in reality those were food drives from Christmas, and by April that room will be empty. So donation seasons are few and far between. We've got Thanksgiving, Christmas, sometimes Easter, and it becomes, it becomes a difficult thing in the in-between portions where we don't get as many donations. Then we can really scrape the bottom of the barrel. So those smaller donations from individuals can really bolster our food supplies. Help in any way you can. I mean, even if you put aside $1 a day or $1 a week, that's $365 in a year. You probably wouldn't miss that dollar, but boy, could that help a food bank.
We shouldn't need these. We shouldn't need food banks. We are a rich country. We are a country rich in material wealth as well as natural resources. Our priorities and our allocations clearly aren't going in the right direction. And so while I see short-term help, I don't see long-term solutions, sadly.
We're sadly successful here. Yeah. We do a good job, but we don't want to have to be here doing a good job. But as long as people need us, we will be here doing whatever we have to do to feed people as much as we can.
And essentially our mission statement, if you want to use that kind of terminology, is neighbors helping neighbors. So it's right in this neighborhood that we want people to know we're here.
It's nice to chat with the people that are coming in and taking the food, right? We don't judge, we don't make it difficult for them. We just offer them food for whatever they need. And obviously some people need more than others. They come with very large families and things like that. Sometimes they're shopping for 2 families. So we want to make it easy, and anything we can do for people. Sometimes they have additional requests, and we're more than happy to do that. And when I see people leaving with a smile on their face and bags full of food, it makes me very happy, knowing that people are going to get fed because of us.
I see a lot of smiles on people when they come in.
Kelly, who is in charge of us, always sends us the most wonderful emails after Thursday nights telling us how many people came through, how many families we served.
I just saw this painting out here, the hugging people, the 2 women hugging. That was painted by a young woman who was one of our shoppers from right at the beginning. And she was able, with the help of the food bank, with some help from the government, with some help from friends, she got her feet under her. And she took an art class. And that was one of her projects, and she donated it to us because she said, every week when I came in, that's how I felt. I felt like I was getting a hug.
This gentleman gave me a bag, and I said, "What's that?" And he said, "It's to thank you for what you do." I opened the bag. It was a little painting, and it was a beautiful painting. And I have that painting on my coffee table. So every day I look at it, and every day it brings me joy, and I think of David, and he certainly didn't expect his final years to be at the food bank. But I'm glad that, in a small way I can help him.
I don't want to make it sound like we do it to have people say they're grateful, because we don't. But it's one of those things when somebody comes in and says, "Man, you guys are awesome, and you always have a smile on your face, and you're so welcoming and non-judgmental, and there's no shame." That's our goal.
I find I'm very privileged to be able to volunteer here and help people.
So to be able to do some small thing in our own community is why I think we all do it.